Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're looking at something pretty interesting, this powerful mix of running AI, locally on your own gear and the potential of decentralized identity.
Yeah, it's really about bringing that intelligence closer to you and sort of linking it up with your digital self in a fundamentally new way.
I'm Neuron.
And I'm Etheria.
And in this deep dive, we're really focusing in. We're going to unpack the Ollama server, what it is, how it works, and crucially, how it plugs into the world of 3NS for you, the listener.
Right. Our mission here is pretty straightforward. By the end of this, you should really get how putting local AI together with decentralized identity can mean more independence, better privacy, and just more control over your digital life.
Okay, so let's dive into this Ollama server then. What is it exactly? Why should we be paying attention?
So think of Ollama as this open source platform, right? It lets you run large language models, the complex AI brains, directly on your own computer.
Home computer? Like
Yeah.
my MacBook or a Linux box.
Exactly. Your MacBook, a Linux machine, maybe even a server you have tucked away somewhere. It basically lets you skip the big cloud APIs for certain things.
Ah, so instead of always hitting, say, OpenAI or Anthropic, Ollama lets you download and run open source models like LLaMA, Mistral, Qwen,
Yeah,
right there on your own hardware, kind of like having your own AI lab.
precisely. Yeah, your own local AI lab. It puts these models right at your fingertips. You don't always need the internet. You're not constantly pinging external APIs.
Okay, and what are the key features? What makes it tick?
Well, first big one, it runs locally. Once the model's downloaded, no internet needed for the actual thinking, the processing. It's pretty flexible too. It can use your main processor, the CPU, or if you have a decent graphics card, the GPU, to do the heavy lifting.
Right.
You can talk to it using simple commands in the terminal, or if you're building stuff, there's an API. And maybe the best part, it's surprisingly easy to get started.
Easy's good. Always good. How easy are we talking?
Like really straightforward. If you're on a Mac, you pop open your terminal and just type brew install Ollama.
That's it.
That's literally it to install the main part. Then, say you want to run Mistral, popular model, you just type Ollama run Mistral. It downloads it, gets it running, and boom.
Wow.
In minutes, you've got this powerful language model humming away on your own machine.
Okay, that does sound simple. So why go this local route? What are the real advantages here?
This is where it gets really compelling. Ollama offers some big benefits, especially if you're a developer messing with AI or a researcher, maybe an entrepreneur.
Okay.
Think about independence, privacy gains, maybe speed for some tasks, and a huge difference in cost.
Costs. Okay, you have my attention. AI API bills can get pretty steep. How does
Yeah.
Ollama change that picture?
Dramatically. I mean, those big proprietary models, they often charge per token, like bits of words.
Mm.
It can be cents per thousand tokens, which adds up fast.
Right.
With Ollama, once you download a model, it's yours. Run it as much as you want. No ongoing API fees. Your costs are basically storage and a little electricity. It really opens things up for indie devs, researchers, people who might have been priced out before.
That's a game changer potentially. What about privacy and security? That's always top of mind.
Huge advantage here. Because everything happens on your machine, your data never leaves your control. Think about sensitive stuff, legal docs, medical info, company secrets.
Yeah, stuff you definitely don't want floating around on third-party servers.
Exactly. You cut out risks like data breaches or sudden policy changes from the provider. It's not just about cost, it's about shifting power back to you, giving you control over your data.
So, like building your own secure AI bubble.
Kind of, yeah. And that local aspect unlocks another really important thing, working offline.
Ah, right. No internet needed.
Exactly. Imagine AI tools working on devices way out in the field or in secure environments where there's no connection, or just ensuring things keep working if your home internet drops. It's critical for some use cases.
That definitely opens up possibilities. Now, for the developers listening, how does Ollama actually fit into their day-to-day workflow when building AI apps?
It's really built with developers in mind. It makes local experimentation super fast. You can try out prompts, tweak how your AI workflows function, test different models against each other, all on your local machine.
So you can kind of kick the tires locally before anything goes live.
Exactly. It speeds up development and debugging for complex multi-model agents massively. You can iterate quickly without racking up API costs or sending potentially sensitive test data outside. It's like your personal AI sandbox.
Makes sense. A private testing ground. And you mentioned custom models earlier.
Yes, that's another cool thing. If you fine-tuned an existing model on your own specific data, say, trained it on internal company documents or specific medical research.
Right. Tailored it for a specific job.
Exactly. Ollama lets you import and run that custom-trained model locally. So back to that example, maybe a nutrition bot.web3, right? It could be running an AI model fine-tuned specifically on, say, ketogenic diet protocols directly on your device, completely private.
Wow, that's very powerful. AI tuned just for you,
Right.
running privately. Okay, let's connect the dots now. How does this local AI engine, Ollama, link up with decentralized identity and this thing called 3NS?
Okay, so think of 3NS as providing the structure. It gives you that secure, self-owned identity layer, like a .web3 domain name represents you or your agent,
Hmm.
and it provides a way to organize how things interact, give agents purpose. Ollama then becomes a key part of the brain, a local intelligence resource these agents can tap into.
So a .web3 agent, which is like a digital persona with its own verifiable identity on the decentralized web, right? It can act and interact.
Exactly. That agent, let's call it Arkasha.web3, for example, can be set up within 3NS to know about different AI models it can use, including local ones via Ollama.
And you can configure which model does what.
Precisely. You can define rules. For this type of task, use this model. Maybe even set up fallbacks.
Fallbacks, how does that work?
Well, imagine the agent needs to answer a simple, common question. You could tell it, first, try the fast, cheap local model on Ollama.
Like Mistral, maybe?
Yeah, like Mistral. If Mistral says, I don't know this one, or it's too complex, then the agent can automatically fall back to maybe a bigger cloud model like GPT-4 or Claude, which might cost more but can handle harder questions. It's about being smart with resources.
That sounds incredibly efficient. Could you show us like what that configuration might actually look like?
Sure, it could be a simple setup file, maybe in JSON format, something like this: snippet.json.tasks, fac, ollama.mistral, negotiation.gpt4 compliance, Claude compliance. Compliance. See? Here, for basic fac tasks, it defaults to the local Mistral via Ollama. For tricky stuff like negotiation, it calls GPT-4. For compliance, maybe Claude, it routes the job to the best tool.
Got it. That makes it really clear how you can orchestrate different AI models. But what about actually using these local models? I mean, not everyone wants to live in the command line.
Good point. And that's where tools like OpenWebUI come in. 3NS can integrate with OpenWebUI, which basically acts as a nice, user-friendly chat interface that talks directly to your local Ollama server.
So a graphical interface, instead of just typing commands, what does that let me do?
It lets you easily load up the models you have on Ollama, switch between them in real time during a conversation, keeps your chat history, remember context, lets you save prompt templates, all that good stuff.
Oh, okay.
The cool thing for you, the user, is it feels seamless. You could be chatting, switch from asking your local Mistral model a quick question to asking GPT-4 something complex, all within the same chat window. No juggling different apps or logins.
That sounds much more practical for everyday use.
Mhm.
So thinking practically then, within this 3NS setup, what are the typical jobs you'd give to your local Ollama instance? Where does it really shine?
Think high volume, relatively simple tasks where speed matters and cost is a factor. Quick answers, right, like checking an order status. Basic customer support type stuff, maybe local translations, finding info in local documents, or even internal agent logic deciding where to route a request, doing some quick pre-processing on data before sending it elsewhere.
Right, the background tasks.
Exactly. These are perfect for Ollama. You get blazing fast responses, complete privacy, and basically zero ongoing cost once it's set up. It's about smart allocation. Use local Ollama for the quick, inexpensive stuff. Save the big cloud models for the heavy lifting.
That makes perfect sense. Use the right tool for the job. If we bring back our dietcoach.web3 example, how would Ollama fit in there specifically?
Okay, yeah. With dietcoach.web3, maybe you have GPT-4 doing the really complex work, generating those deeply personalized meal plans based on lots of user data.
The heavy lifting.
Right. Then maybe you use Claude to summarize new nutritional research papers and make sure the advice sounds empathetic and encouraging. And then Ollama, running a model like Mistral locally, could handle all the quick Q&A. How many carbs in an apple? Calculate macros for a meal you just logged. Format your shopping list nicely.
Oh, the day-to-day stuff.
Exactly. And the person using dietcoach.web3, They probably wouldn't even know which AI answered which question. They just get this smooth, smart, private experience that helps them with their health goals.
That paints a really clear picture. So just to pull it all together, Ollama gives us the local AI brain, the processing power,
Mm-hmm.
and 3NS provides the identity, the structure, the purpose for these agents, and the way to intelligently route tasks between local and cloud AI.
That's it, exactly. A really good summary. And the combination offers you, the user, this potential for a self-sovereign AI ecosystem. You get agent-level control, multi-model flexibility, no vendor lock-in, all anchored to your own Gleb 3 identity, potentially running powerful AI locally.
That is a really compelling vision. A more independent, private digital future, maybe?
I think so. It's definitely pointing in that direction.
Okay. So as we wrap up this deep dive, here's something to think about. Imagine what becomes possible when your own digital identity is deeply connected to AI intelligence that you control, running locally, completely on your terms. What kind of new tools, new services could YU build or use with that level of autonomy and privacy? That's the thought we'll leave you with this time